Now, the General Assembly's focus this year, the airstrikes against Islamic State and fighting terror, but it's also allowed many countries to highlight other issues going on around the world. CCTV's Latin America planning editor, Julio Aliaga, joins us now with a look at some of what's ahead in the region and what we've heard so far. So let me begin with Brazil, and you were telling me Brazil is always the first speaker at the UN General Assembly.
It is a tradition, and it's not only the first country of Latin America to speak, but the first country of the entire world to speak. That's always the case. So anyway, being the first one to speak is always nice because everybody's watching. So President Dilma Rousseff used the opportunity to talk about some of the things that her government has been able to achieve. And the reason for that is because Rousseff is seeking a second term in the upcoming elections in Brazil, October 5th. The latest poll has Rousseff leading Marina Silva, the main opponent, 38% to 29%. And in the case of a runoff elections, the same poll shows that Rousseff and Silva are tied up at 41%. And I should also mention that President Rousseff talked about the need to reform the Security Council. Brazil is interested in getting a permanent seat in the Security Council, so she also mentioned that.
And that brings us to Mexico. And Mexican president also had the same message in his address, didn't he?
He also mentioned the need to reform the Security Council, but he also talked about arms trafficking. Of course, Mexico has a tremendous problem with violence. Violence comes, in part at least, from the drug traffickers. Drug traffickers get their arms in an illegal market. And Peña Nieto, the president, was asking for the country to sign the UN treaty on arms trafficking, and asking all the countries to sign the treaty, and those who have already signed the treaty to ratify it.
What about Christina Fernandez of Argentina? What was her message?
Christina Fernandez was interested in talking about the Malvinas sovereignty, something that the Argentinians have in their national soul. And she also talked about what the Argentinians call the vulture funds and the economic situation in general in Argentina.
So what can we expect in the coming hours, Julio? Venezuela's Maduro, everyone is talking about him. What is he going to say? What's his message going to be? Any ideas? And is he going to be as provocative as Hugo Chavez?
Well, Hugo Chavez is a difficult act to follow, but he will probably be very interesting. I have to say, Venezuela is interested in getting a seat at the Security Council, not one of the permanents, of course, but one of the seats that are rotating. And it has the unanimous support of all Latin American countries. And since one of the seats has to go to the Latin American region, and there's no other candidate, Venezuela will get that seat at the Security Council, which is going to be very interesting, and I'm sure President Maduro will speak about that as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Julio Aliaga. We appreciate your take.